Are you worried that you may be receiving guidance that isn't meant for you, or you're not sure if the reader or the message is meant for you? I want to go over some ways that you can pinpoint if you are being scammed or if you are finding a reading that isn't for you. So, welcome in. My name is Sunny. This is Sunny Healing Intuitions. Welcome back if you have been with me for a while, and welcome if you have just found me. Always hit that like button. That helps for others to see the videos and the algorithm. It helps my channel to grow. And I always like to hear feedback if you ever have questions or want to share any experiences. I do like to hear from my community. So today I wanted to go over some ways that you can tell if you're being scammed or if a reading is for you. Just some ways that you may not have known about before, things that you can pick up on. So the first segment I'm going to do are scams. So if someone reaches out to you and says that they need to remove a curse from you, or you've got a dark cloud of energy, you are carrying around like dark magic energies that were banned or sent towards you from others, or you've got negative ancestral energy that you're carrying that needs to be released, and that it's blocking your happiness, definitely block them. Or just ignore, because they are trying, like, nobody, first of all, a reader or a psychic will never reach out to you. They will never reach out to you. They know, like, if they are in integrity with the work, and this means integrity with the spirits that bring the messages as well, because these people who are doing it, I'm sure that they're probably chasing money because they're getting their karma. Let's just say that. So if they're telling you this information, they're seeking you out to get money from you. And what they'll do is they'll offer you some pictures that show the evidence. Sorry, I was getting a call. That was weird. So they'll send you a picture of an egg showing that, oh, here's proof that the ritual worked. If you want to do some more, I do see that, you do have a little bit of energy that's blocking you from love, or, things like that. They'll keep baiting you because if they get money from you, they're just going to want to keep doing that. They're going to siphon as much energy, time, and money from you as they can. Another scam is pay to play, or like a love or money ritual, and they've reached out to you again. They will offer to like bring back an ex, guarantee that you're going to win the lottery, or maybe they're going to offer you to purchase some expensive metaphysical tools like essential oils that they've created, put their little ritual over it, or candles that are infused with their energy that they've, banished this energy, and you just have to burn it. And so they'll charge you for it, and then you'll get it. It won't work. And then they'll say like, oh, well, we need to do this more expensive ritual. And then they're going to lead you down that road. So that's another one that is very common these days. The cold reading. Oh, this one really gets me. So when I do readings, personally, I always say, if you have a couple of questions, ask. However, I don't want to know names. I don't want to know like specifics. I actually prefer when somebody just wants a general reading and wants to know what comes out, because then I get free range to connect with your spirit guides or your ancestors, whoever wants to come through for you, and bring through what they give to you. And I just let it fly. I just give all the information that comes out from the cards and from them, and it's all channeled. And then I've had so many people be like, oh my God, I can't believe that and I don't ever give like guarantees or anything about what's going to happen, because my messages are meant to be confirmation, and then to empower you to figure out your path forward, right? So these cold readings, they'll ask you to, like, they'll basically bait you for insight. They'll be like, oh, I sense a man What's their name and age. Like they'll like ask you questions that you'll basically lead them through with the answers, and then they'll tell you like misleading information that will be very confusing for you, probably throw you off your path, and causes trouble in your life, to be honest. And then we have the secret trap. So this is when they are trying to isolate you, telling you not to share with your husband, your loved ones, your friends, or anyone else that you were working with them, so that you are like, so that they don't realize that you're being exploited for money. And then they'll just say like, just work with me, don't work with anyone else. That's not okay. They can't tell you that. Nobody can tell you that. You get to choose what you do. This is your life, and this is your money and time. So always be discerning about these situations if that crosses your path. I had to kind of write down notes because I can tend to get lost. I have ADHD, and like I call it ADHD, or no, ADHD, because it's like, hey, squirrel. Anyway. Okay, so how to tell if a reading is for you or a reader. Okay, this is so important. I always want people to feel empowered when they leave a reading from me. I want them to know that they can trust my guidance. And then that way, if they decide they want to come back to me for a reading, they have that option. And I always tell people, here's the information. If you have any questions, let me know. I always open it up for questions. And I don't charge for that. You already paid for the service. But I don't want people to leave feeling confused or having more questions. So I always try to be very clear with my guidance. And I always say, if you have questions, please reach out to me. Again, I do not reach out to people. The way we stay in integrity with this work is that people find us. We're the lighthouses. We're the ones who are bringing this information forth, because not a lot of people are able to tap into their intuition or trust their intuition or their selves, right? And that's not even the only reason. Like, some people just need a little bit of a push or a guide, to help them like look at things from an outside perspective, because they're in it, right? So if I reach out to a reader, I really absolutely need guidance. Or if I go in with my normal person, which I think I've maybe gone with like maybe one or two others, just because I wanted to support them and see how they felt with, bringing through my message. But I have one person that I go through ever since I started this healing journey. And sometimes I just like to check in, Sometimes I have new spirit guides because I've completed a chapter and now I'm on a new one. Because we do get new spirit guides as we complete chapters and start a new one. Not always, but most of the time. And we always have one guide that we've had since we were born. So, one way to know is if you leave feeling anxious, fearful, powerless, or confused. So that was my point. You want to make sure you leave feeling empowered, good, clear, having a broader and clearer perspective on your situation that you were asking about. And most of the time, if you don't ask a question, a good reader will know your situation and it'll all come through and you won't even have to say anything. So that's another good one. Cats are scratching in the box, so if you hear that. Guaranteed outcomes. I do not guarantee outcomes. I always say the potential outcome, because we all have free will. We are the ones that can decide anything at any moment. And since time isn't linear and we have multiple timelines, we're multi-dimensional beings, all of us. We're all powerful. We can make one decision and that changes the course of our life, right? And that's what happens with those tower moments. It seems like everything's crumbling around us, but it's really just the universe clearing out what's not meant for us so we can start going on a higher path, something that we want. And we're the ones that decide when we choose not to go after the unknown because it's scary, and we're wanting to stay with the familiar. And guess what? That's our choice. If you're not ready to move forward, it's okay. You have more work to do. It's not about judging ourselves or judging the situation or anything. But I never, ever, ever tell anyone that it is guaranteed. Even though I do prophesize a lot, I've dreamt stuff that's happened. I've literally had a thought that just came through, said, don't trust this person. And the more that I've paid attention to the things that are happening, because I've heard that message and it gave me that direction of like, hey, pay attention to this, I start seeing how it's going to unfold. And then it always does, every single time. And so even with that, I would never tell someone that it's guaranteed, because we have a choice every minute, every second, every day. So another one is watch out for details. When you're watching a reading, or if you're listening to a reader who you've booked through, especially, if they say something about you being an artist but you're a nurse, or that, you were here this one time and you've never been there, things like that. Like, sometimes they'll kind of cause an illusion and get you like paying attention to something else, so you'll kind of just not really take that into consideration because they say something else that catches your attention. Make sure that you're paying attention to those details, because first of all, like, I don't ever try to do that, but at the same time, like, sometimes we watch readings and it may come up like you're so into it and all this stuff, and it matches. But you have to remember that sometimes these are collective messages, and it could be like somebody out there that literally like it's talking about, and then they're an artist, but you're the nurse, right? So just watch out for those details, like especially in a reading that you've booked with someone, or if you're sitting there with someone. Most of the people that are out there are going to be probably fake, but if you're in a place where you feel good about the person, trust it. Vibe check. So always make sure that you're paying attention to your body's signals. Your body will tell you if it's wrong. Like if there's some type of distortion or fragmentation in the information that's coming through, or their energy isn't connecting with you, your body will feel it. And you have to trust that. If you feel any unease about that person, trust it. The first instinct is always your intuition, but we always question it because we get our mind stuck in it. And our mind is the ego that tries to protect us. It's not trying to hurt us, it's trying to protect us. And so the minute that you think that, it might go, oh, well, no, like, just hear him out. It's like, no, trust it. Another one is pressure tactics. They push you to book. They say, oh, if you don't book with me now, then you run the risk of getting injured. Stuff like that. Like basically threatening you if you don't book with them. They will say that things will get worse in your life if you don't book with them now, because they have the remedy or the ritual or the magic that will help you. No, that's baiting. That's trying to get you in and scaring you into booking with them, fearing for your life and your safety. If they ask for bank information or social security, I mean, obviously we should never give social security numbers to anyone unless we're in person with them, or, they've confirmed all your information in their bank or whatever, but they should never be asking for that. They should always have a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or they'll have an actual booking site that you can go through where it goes through Stripe. Because that's what I do. I have either Venmo, PayPal. I'm actually thinking about Cash App. I'm still kind of wary about it. And then I have my booking site, so people can book through those, whatever they feel comfortable with. There's options, and that's how most of them should be. And it's not like it costs me a lot of money. I don't pay for any of these services. This just allows me to book with these people. And yeah, sure, Stripe takes a percentage, but honestly, it's not a big deal to me if it makes people feel safer. So if they make you dependent on them, if I was to book with you and we had a session and I told you don't book with anyone else, always come to me, That's again, like, it's sketchy. Nobody should ever tell anybody what to do. Everything that I bring forth is always if it resonates, or on my channel, or I when I in my readings, I always say, if you have questions, let me know. And I hope that you enjoyed the reading, and if you want to book with me again, it's there. And that's it. Nobody should be telling you what to do and telling you that you have to go through them. And just the last thing, it should feel like a collaboration. It should feel like you were having a conversation with a friend. You should leave feeling good, and a little bit more clear, as they said, on the path ahead. And a lot of times it'll help you to connect with your inner core, so that you have the ability to guide yourself and trust your intuition, because you got that confirmation. And so I just wanted to make sure that I made this clear. I hope that this helps you with whoever you find, whoever you enjoy watching readings with, and maybe it'll give you a little bit more clarity and ability to trust whatever you come across in the algorithms, on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever it is that you go, okay? So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm always happy to serve. I've had to take a little break from doing my healing tips videos, the podcast that I do every week. I'll start again on Monday. I'm not really sure what topic I'm going to bring up. If there's a topic that you've wanted to hear about besides this, plug it into the comments. It'll give me a little bit of inspiration. Otherwise, I'll go with my gut. And I'm just sending you all so much love. I know that there's so much going on in the world. Please be discerning. Stop feeding the machine. Go outside, touch grass, touch trees, hear the birds sing, get in some water, and disconnect from all the crap. Love you guys. Take care.